Let's begin part 3. In Canada, some Judeo-Christian churches deliver messages of condemnation and homophobia towards individuals exclusive to the heteronormative construct. It is a religious discourse of control, classism, patriarchy, and white supremacy that has spread to dominate other racially diverse societies. Christianity, in relation to gender and sexuality, imposes specific identities, attitudes, and actions into the lives of Jamaicans. Thoughts and practices that are contrary to Christian faith are deemed sinful and therefore punishable. And while Christianity remains the faith that I practice, the combination of a rich Jamaican heritage and the diverse appreciation evident in Canadian society enables me to be explicitly critical of Christianity's discourse of dominance as it relates to the individual self and to others. The next area for discussion is my appreciation for the diverse sexuality of others. As stated above, my childhood experiences in Jamaica represented monoculture, one culture. Skin pigmentation and social class were the primary and visible representations of diversity that I can recall. Namely, children with lighter skin were treated better in comparison to those with darker skin. That was my introduction of the theory of colorism. As noted above, my Canadian experience began at age 13. Immediately, I noticed that Canada's education system is structured to reflect Eurocentric ideas, or what McGoldrick, Gradado, and Garcia Petro in 2005 calls ethnocentric. I was the other, and that's according to Hulko, Hulko, in 2009. This lived reality was a complex juggling between the beliefs and values of church and school. Immediately after my arrival in Canada, spiritual needs were met by attending church. The messages of homophobia continued, but with a more strategic, constructed delivery. While Christian churches in Canada deliver a similar message about Adam and Eve, church leaders are conscious of the fact that their congregation consists of tithers, or people who give money, with various beliefs. These givers of money, like myself, can choose to leave churches at will. Similar to what I learned in Jamaican churches, heterosexuality and traditional male and female identities were taught as the norms in Canadian churches. In contrast, the classroom instilled the belief that there were differences beyond the male and female genders and that which was heterosexual, And while in high school, the messages of gender and sexual inclusivity were not explicitly taught, even though there were visual representations within the student body of these differences. My mind was conflicted about acceptability and unacceptability. The consistent message at church was that heterosexual men and women who lived according to the Word of God would be rewarded by seeing the kingdom of God in heaven. On the other hand, school represented other choices. This section discusses the ways in which my experiences of gender and sexuality have been influenced by dominant cultural and familial values and expectations, together with alternatives and other cultural influences. I left the home of my parents to attend post-secondary education. It was within the institutions of campus, women's centers, and gay and lesbian centers where my appreciation for diversity in relation to sexuality and gender identities began. Privilege, oppression, repression, white supremacy, dominance, and patriarchy became evident in my daily language. Primarily, I recognize the privileges of heterosexuality and being female, and while Black people living in Canada must endure white dominance and white privilege, there are visible representations of other oppressed groups. This is evident in the historical and contemporary experiences of the exploitation of the Aboriginal people of North America. Repression and oppression can also be understood as experienced by the LGBT community, and similar to religious institutions, evident in the political discourse is patriarchy and dominance. Nevertheless, the confidence exuded as an heterosexual female provided the platform to become informed with regard to individuals who are excluded from the dominant discourse of gender and sexuality. Symbolic interactionism theorists and sociocultural theorists would have had a lot to say about my adulthood. My rich and challenging experiences have led me to a deep appreciation for difference. I embrace the right to choose, whether that is related to life, the choice of a partner, or religious affiliation. I will end part 3 right there.